Well, welcome once again to Koikimedia channel. If this is your first time of seeing my video, maybe you probably have not come across many of my videos that I've done in many years of being part of the social media. When we look at the social media today, it is one of the most powerful tools for communication apart from the mainstream media. So welcome once again to our new followers and those that have known me in the community or the Yorubas or probably the other ethnic groups within Nigeria, and many of you that are probably also watching my video in other continents of the globe. What am I going to be discussing this morning, this afternoon, tonight? Bear with me. What am I going to be discussing has to do with what is happening presently in the Middle East. There's a lot happening, and it is happening at the speed where many probably might not understand. Once again, I would like to welcome those of you that have joined me before, that have listened to me, and I also want you to comment and also tell us what more you think we can continue to do to engage. Let's start with this. If you have the privilege as any citizens of any part of the globe today, where would you want to be? Let me rephrase it again. If you're a citizen of Britain, you're an American citizen, you're a Canadian citizen, you're Iranian citizen, Israeli citizen, Palestinian, India, Russia, Cambodia, Somali, Benin Republic, Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, Namibia, Zimbabwe, Somaliland, Cameroon, Togo, Sierra Leone, Turkey, name it. We have approximately about 196 countries around the world today. Bear with me, there might be some bit of noise at the background. We are in Africa. If you like what I'm putting on, and you want to also have something like this made to your own taste, you can reach out to Omitaf Couture on the Instagram, or you can reach out to them on WhatsApp +234 813 852 8588. I'll call that number again one more time, +234 813 852 8588. Whatever you want to make, I can assure you that Omitaf Couture has got your back. So that is their Instagram, some of what they've done and what they've produced in the past. As you can see, beautiful outfit. These were sent to the United States of America, somewhere in New York. You can see the glamours of the finishing. All these are design that you can discuss with Omitaf Couture. This is the fashion show in London, in Lagos. Very soon they'll be in London. And if you also have your younger ones, for those of you in Nigeria, that you want to allow them to learn how to make clothing, you can communicate with them as well. So please do reach out to Omitaf Couture, and that is me right there. They produce my clothes and Dr. Chief Sunday Bowo's clothes as well, and quite of different children and adults. Let's come back to the conversation. So I want to know, the world is becoming much global. We are seeing citizens of many countries traveling to different parts of the world for business, for study. We see Chinese students coming to England. We see people moving to Dubai because it is much convenient, tax-free. We see people moving to Qatar. We see citizens moving to Libya for economic purpose. We see countries of different citizens moving from one end to the other. But as it is right now today in 2026, where would you want to be? What part of the continent would you want to be? Let's quickly look at some of the continents that we have, and maybe you can help me. Let's start with how many continents do we have in the world? I'm checking on Google, and because the technology is there, I don't have to disturb the brain. They are generally considered to be 7 continents in the world. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to list all the continents, and you in the comment section will help me to determine what part of each of these continents would you love to live. With the way things are today, with the current situation that we are facing, we are seeing economic crisis in some continents. We are seeing instability in some continents. And for whatever reason, it could be for the weather, it could be for change of environment. We see different people moving to different continents for different purposes. So I really want to know, with the current climate of the situation we are living today in 2026 and moving forward, where would you want to be maybe in the next 10 years? I want to be in my own country that is currently inside Nigeria, which is known as Orile-Ede, Yoruba land, Yoruba kingdom, Oduduwa Republic, whatever we decide to call it in the near future. That is where I wish and love to be. That is where I want to be, so that I can participate in the development and the restructuring and the fulfillment of my own desire that a country has emerged from where it has been kept for many years since the 1914 amalgamation. I'm sure many of you that are listening to me know my stand in terms of my decision that would decide that we will campaign for the right to self-determination of the Yoruba people, which is an inalienable right. But for the benefit of this conversation, I am talking to not just one particular people. I am talking to anyone that come across this video. Where would you love to be? So let me quickly read some of the continents that we have today. Number 1, we have Africa. We have Asia. We have North America. We have South America. We have Antarctica. We have Europe. We have Australia, often referred to as Oceania. While 7 is the most common, different educational systems worldwide may teach 4, 5, or 6 continent models based on combined land mass. I hope you understand what I'm saying. 7 continents. I want to be in Africa. Where in Africa? Somewhere known as Nigeria today, but known as the southwest part of Nigeria, which is called the Yoruba land. That is where I want to be. That is where I want my children, my great-grandchildren to stay and also do whatever they need to do. And if they have the opportunity, travel to other continents as well. So let's move swiftly. Some of the key details about the 7th continent: largest to small by land mass. That means when we talk about some of this continent, which is the question I'm asking this afternoon, this morning, tonight, because we're living in different part of the globe. Someone might be watching me late in the night, early morning, in the hours, in the morning, in the afternoon, but currently in the part of the globe I am right now, it is daytime. So the largest to the smallest: Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Antarctica, Europe, Australia. That means that Africa in terms of landmass, is bigger, larger than Europe. So the question now is, why would you want to move from one continent to be another continent? We have seen migration has become one of the biggest threats or one of the biggest problems to some European countries. In as much as these European countries have a very small landmass, yet millions of people from around the world would prefer to go to some of these European countries for whatever reasons. And I believe one of the reasons is for greener pasture. Should Africa become a backbone and work towards places that people from other continents would love to visit for work, for education, for healthcare, I am sure we would also witness mass migration back to Africa. But the reason why many people are not returning back or coming to African countries is the fact that many of them are not engaged in war. We know that there are a few pockets of war there and there in some African countries, but when we look at the current climate of what is happening today in the world, the question and the topic is, where would you love to be? To live, work, study, healthcare, education, and if you have the privilege, apply for visa or visa-free, depending on what passport you have with you. So let's go further. We've talked about the largest to the smallest. Australia seems to be the smallest. Asia and Africa seems to be 1 to 2. In terms of population, all are inhabited except for Antarctica, which is only used for research, and we know the purpose. It is extremely cold. You can hardly survive in that region because of the weather, but you can survive in Africa regardless of the weather. Even during the colonial era, many of the Europeans, the Portuguese that came in to Africa, survived even with the mosquitoes and all other diseases that was either brought into Africa or was found to have affected the Europeans and the Portuguese as at the time. Variation: some regions combine Europe and Asia into Eurasia, or North and South America into America, leading to different models. So now we've got at least and I'm going out into the world meter. We have about less than 2 minutes, and if you look at this diagram right there, you can clearly see, what I'm talking about when it comes to what it looks like as Africa and Europe. So Africa is the one in the yellow, Europe is the one in the blue, and we have Asia in the red, right there, Asia. The green is North America. I hope you can see it. That's the North America. And we have the South America. Now, let's focus on this yellow. Oh, sorry about that. Let's come back. Let's focus on this particular one, that is Africa. From what we have here and from what I'm looking at, in terms of population wise, Asia seems to be number 1, Africa number 2, Europe number 3, North America number 4, South America number 5, Australia number 6, and Antarctica number 7. Which continent does Russia belong to? Russia is part of both Europe and Asia in the 7-continent model. Which continent does Hawaii belong to? Hawaii is politically part of North America, but geographically it is not part of any continent. So you can now see that the more we start engaging and discussing this issue, the better, in the interest of every one of us. And I hope you've learned one or two things. For those of you that probably do not know, that Africa is a continent, it's not a country. We see many people talking less about Africa as a country. Africa is not a country. Africa is a continent, and I hope that many of you have learned that Africa must rise up. Africa must be prepared, to sustain itself for many, many years to come. And the only way we can do that is for some of us to continue to enlighten and educate millions of Africans on the reason why we must remain in Africa and we must survive. My name is Olami Koiki, and if you'd like to reach out to me, you have a question, or you want to check on something, plus 4475 940500979, and it is Koikimedia, bringing the world closer to your doorsteps.